Hi guys, back again with another Star Wars 3 and 3/4 inch action figure review, and today we're going to take a look at a comic pack. Yeah, we have the comic pack with Commander Keller and the Galactic Marine. I love comic packs. I think they're some of the best things that came with modern 3 and 3/4 inch Star Wars figures. I really hope or wish that Hasbro would do them again. I think they're just so cool. You get a comic book, a little story about the figures that you get, and because it's from a comic, you pretty much usually always got expanded universe figures, and some of the best expanded universe figures we got came from comic packs. So, yeah, I think it's really cool. And on occasion at comic book stores and whatnot, you can track some of these down. They're not impossible to find, but they are a rare thing to come across. And I was really happy to come across this one. This is really cool. So yeah. So here's the packaging. Mine's pretty beat up. I'd be tempted to keep this on the packaging, but like there's a huge crease on the top and all beat around the corners and whatever, so it's not real much point, but it includes comic book. Wow, you don't say. Yeah, you get the comic book here. It's Star Wars Republic number 79. I'd really like to read this series at some point. So hopefully let me track down some of those stories. But yeah, you got Star Wars comic packs, Republic number 79. Got the figures displayed in there. Got an image of the Galactic Marine there. And Commander Keller on the side here. So that's pretty cool. There's a Star Wars logo on the bottom. Flip around on the back here. You have an image of the two figures. You got a read up there, which I'm not going to read because it's kind of long. But yeah, you can pause that and read it if you want. It previews some of the art from the comic book, I'm assuming, which it does look really well illustrated. And you got some other comic packs. You got this one. You got one with, I think, a repainted Boba Fett and some sort of droid. And then you've got the Obi-Wan and Bail 2-pack with the Luke and Leia babies. So that's cool. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the packaging. So I'm going to crack this open. We'll take a closer look at the figures inside. Alright, so now we have the 2-pack out of the packaging. And this is a really cool 2-pack. With these comic packs, while they do give good characters, sometimes they're hit or miss in terms of actual quality of figures. Like Articulation could be really bad, Sculpt and Paint could be meh, which has happened. I think the last comic pack I actually bought and reviewed, it was the Toby Dalla and Leia pack, and the Leia was awful in that set, but for this one, they're both pretty solid figures. First off, you do get the comic book, so this is just what the cover looks like. You know, I'll give you a brief little look at the art. That's kind of like what the art looks like. So yeah, I think the art looks good. I haven't read it yet, but I will probably do that soon. So yeah, here's the two figures. We'll take a look at the Galactic Marine first. Let's put Keller over there. Keller's probably my favorite figure of the set just because he's a lot more unique looking. But this Galactic Marine is pretty cool. Now, as far as I know, this is just a straight up repaint of the original release, which I do have, just not here with me, so I can't compare. If you want to see a comparison, JCC 2224 has a great every Galactic Marine ever. We'll compare them all, so you can go watch that if you want to know what the other ones look like. But yeah, here's the one, the white one. And he's got a pretty standard, just looking like all white scheme, which I think is really cool because I like to think this is kind of like what the Snow Troopers looked like before they transitioned into the new armor. They went all white with the clone armor and then ended up going with the new armor. So I think that's really cool. And you got the helmet here, which looks pretty nice. Not much paint apps going on, just like a little bit black there and black for the islands. You can remove the helmet, which goes on pretty good. And you got that sort of clone sculpt based on that random guy eating soup in the Tapaka City. So yeah, it's not bad. You know, paint apps aren't terrible. Looks decent. I'm gonna obviously display him with his helmet on, so I don't really care too much. But the helmet fits on nicely. Of course, the helmet will hinder quite a bit of articulation because of how it's designed. He's got the little pauldron here with the little bandolier. You can remove the pauldron if you pop off the head. He's got a backpack. This is a very interesting paint apps. It almost has like a purple wash on it, which is a little kind of weird for a color choice, but looks pretty good. You can remove it. It just is plugged in via a peg. You can remove it if you want to. So that's pretty cool. His shoulders here got some nice sculpted pouches. You got some little bit, I guess, weathering or scuffing going on the forearms, which is kind of cool. Some more of that going on there. Got the torso armor, which is pretty cool. Got some pouches painted and sculpted there. Got the little camo here, which is pretty plain looking, to be honest, but it's not too bad. I do wish it was made of a little more pliable material, though. He's got his pants, which are sculpted really nicely. He's got his boots, which are sculpted nicely, and have this dirt wash kind of on them. And you got some buckles painted and sculpted on there as well, which is pretty cool. My one complaint would be in terms of the paint apps, the weathering's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of obvious to tell to a certain degree. It's just kind of, this one's not bad. This one's kind of messy looking, and the fact that he only has like weathering and some like he has scuffs on his forearms and only on his knees, and like that's it. There's like nothing else on the figure. He's clean everywhere else. That doesn't really make much sense, but at least they tried, I guess. And it still doesn't look too bad. I like it. In terms of articulation, he has a ball joint at the head, ball hinge at the shoulders, ball hinge at the elbows, swivels at the wrists, swivel at the waist, swivel at the hips, ball hinge knees, and ball hinge ankles. The legs are going to be hindered a fair amount because of this camo. In terms of accessories, he comes with the old style sculpted DC-15 rifle, which you've probably seen a million times before. He holds it well. I still have it rubber banded into his hand, but he has trigger fingers, so I'm assuming he still holds it well regardless. And like I said, he has the removable bits. He remove his helmet, remove his backpack, and remove the pauldron, so that's pretty cool. And the only other issue I have with this figure is he's a pain in the ass to stand up. Like, he just keeps wanting to fall backwards. And I don't know if it's just because I have him standing on the mat. Yeah, it's probably because he's on the mat, because he's standing fine right there. Just being a pain in the ass. Yeah, so it's a pretty solid figure, not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. Now moving on to Commander Keller. Yeah, he's pretty cool. So let's take a closer look at him. Using the Airborne Trooper helmet, which is probably one of my favorite looks for a clone trooper, one of my favorite looks. So I'm really happy about that. And that's one of the reasons why I really like him. It's pretty cool. You got all these black paint apps and the slit for the eye lenses. You got this light blue sort of design for the stripes and whatnot, which is pretty cool. It's got these soft good poncho, if you didn't already notice. And surprisingly, the hood doesn't look too terrible. I mean, it's not going to sit on it like perfectly well. I think you're going to have some of that space and whatnot. But it doesn't look too bad, honestly. It's got this little bottom part too that you can cover over his. It's kind of hard to do here, but if you get it, there you go. If you want, you can fold that out too, and you kind of get that folded covering his face too, which I think is kind of cool. So yeah, you have that. And the soft goods themselves is made nice. It's a nice sort of white silky sort of material, so that's really cool. He does have a removable helmet, and I'm pretty sure you can just lift the poncho off of him. Now he doesn't want to stand. That's fucking great. There we go. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah, slips right off. And I'm pretty sure you can just slip the poncho right off as well. It just comes off like that. Get a closer look at the helmet first. Come on. There we go. So that looks pretty good. The vents look nice and everything. Not sure if he's supposed to have that scuffing on it, but it doesn't really look bad, so I don't really care. Looks pretty good. I'm just a really big fan of that helmet design. I don't know why. I think it looks really cool. Here's the rest of the figure. So he has a head sculpt. I think it's the same head sculpt and same general sculpt as the Airborne Trooper. He has the weirdest looking eyes. He's got like the eyes of the Lucifer, for God's sakes. Can't really see well, but his eye pupils are red, so he's a Sith, I guess. And the eyes themselves are painted a little wonky, which kind of sucks, but I'm just going to display him with his helmet on anyways, so it doesn't really matter too much. He's got these blue paint apps on his torso there. He's got the little sculpted bit right here, which is a brownish orange, I guess. He's got some more of that blue lines going on. The blue lines going on here. He's got this soft goods camo. You don't see that every day. And it also looks like his belt is on backwards. I didn't notice that. That's kind of funny. I'll fix that later. the belt... It's weird. It's like a space, I guess, like clip on, you can like take it off if you want. That's easy. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or what, but there, it's fixed. Hopefully it's not broken. But yeah, and then you got these blue lines here on the legs, and you got the blue here, and the blue there, and you got some nice scuffing on the boots to make him look like he's worn, he's been walking around and stuff, so that's pretty cool. And I really like the soft goods camo, actually, because it looks alright, and it allows for a lot more articulation, so that's awesome. Speaking of articulation, he has a ball joint in the head, which moves really good, ball hinge in the shoulders, ball hinge of the elbows, swivel at the wrist, a swivel waist, swivel hips, ball hinge knees, and ball hinge ankles, so he has pretty good articulation. In terms of accessories, he comes with his helmet and his soft goods poncho, of course. He also comes with the newer style, or newer style at the time, DC-15 rifle, which I think looks more accurate, looks a bit better, but it's made of a much more bendy material, so it likes to warp on you. It came out warped on me. I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. But he comes with that. He doesn't really have a very well sculpted trigger finger on his right hand, though, so I think I'm going to have to cut that a bit more, but yeah, that's cool. I just find it really weird that they gave the Galactic Marine the old rifle, then they gave this figure the new rifle. Like, why wouldn't you just give them both the same style rifle? The mysteries of Hasbro. But anyways, I guess I'll give you a quick look at how he looks without the poncho, but with the helmet on. So yeah, that looks pretty good, too, if you like to display him like that. But, oh yeah, and actually before I go on, I'll just quickly, here he is next to the Airborne Trooper that was released, I think in the same year. So that looks pretty cool. Anyways, overall, this is a pretty good 2-pack. I think this is definitely one of the better comic packs. If you're a clone fan, clone collector, what have you, I think you're definitely going to want to pick this one up if you don't already have it. You get a pretty cool Galactic Marine, and you get a more unique looking Airborne style Trooper Commander. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.